Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a horror thriller film called The Platform 2 from 2024. Enjoy your viewing. The film begins with citizens who are prisoners, naming items and favorite foods that they would like to receive while serving their time in a specific prison. A prisoner named Zattin, who tried to commit arson, asks for pizza. The story moves to a cell on the 24th floor of a multi-tiered prison, where Zattin is serving his sentence alongside Peruan. The man is sadly looking at a piece of dough from which all the main toppings have been removed. According to the prisoners, it was taken away on the 21st floor when a food truck was passing by. He wants to eat the chicken leg, but the equality advocates from the top floor advise against it. The prisoners have established a rule that everyone eats only what they choose. Peruan supports this rule to avoid a situation where everyone eats everything and nothing reaches the lower levels. In addition, every month there is a change of floors, so one day they may also wake up on the lower level and be hungry. Zattin reluctantly complies, and his neighbor treats him to her leftovers. Over time, the platform with the food goes down, and the prisoners go about their business and conversations. Suddenly, however, it is reported that on the 44th floor, the distribution of food has stopped, which could lead to starvation, given that there are only 333 floors. The prisoners plan to go down to the 44th and 21st levels the next day to find out. The next day, when the platform descends, the adherents from above go down to the 21st floor and start a fight with the intruders. Neighbors from the 23rd floor warn Zattin that he may also have to join the Solidarity Revolution, and to do so, he needs to arm himself with metal bed rails. Despite his considerable size, Zattin is ready to forgive those who stole his pizza, just to avoid taking part in the fight. When the platform arrives on the 24th level, there is a body on it instead of food. Two more people are thrown from above. The last man tries to throw all the food down to comply with the administration's rule of not leaving food on his level after the platform descends. But he fails, and is punished by fire, after which his body falls to the platform. While Peruan puts out the fire, the two men on top continue to fight, and Zattin stands in a stupor. The girl helps to beat one of the men, after which the platform continues its movement. They have a few seconds to dump all the food left to avoid punishment. A guest from the top floor ties up the perpetrator of the hunger riot on the 21st floor, preventing Zattin from beating him. Zattin criticizes the guest from above because of his unwritten rules, which were told to him by a mythical teacher and his followers who fought for a fair distribution of food. When he learns that the teacher fed his body to the needy, Zattin offers to eat the body of the murdered man, but the guest avoids the temptation and throws it into a pit. The next day, during the meal, Zattin finally gets his portion, while the other man throws away the remains of the dead, so as not to create inequality, which leads to another discontent. The death of his comrade should not be a reward. He puts the body on a platform and rides down with it in search of followers. A day later, during a meal, Peruan throws away other people's food, despite Zattin's displeased look. Zattin follows suit, but secretly tears off a small piece, and the upstairs neighbor notices. This goes on day after day. They pass on information about the rules to the other prisoners, making sure that food is distributed fairly at all levels, and gradually learn to help each other and share their own food. On the last day they are to spend on level 24, Zattin tells us that he used to be a mathematician, but gave up science, disillusioned with it, because theoretical mathematics allows for solutions that are impossible in reality. In the evening, they report from downstairs that this month, thanks to the distribution, they have enough food to reach the 175th level. Peruan invites his neighbor to dance, and he agrees. The next morning they wake up on the 180th floor. There are many hungry people here, and the connection is cut off at the 169th level. Zattin is nervous, hoping that the supporters of equality will enforce the law, but he realizes that the chances of this are slim. In addition, there are many newcomers at the top, which indicates a high mortality rate among prisoners. Every day they get an empty platform. Their lives are limited to talk about love and the triumph of the law, but words alone cannot satiate them. Zattin feels bad from hunger, and Peruan takes care of him. One day someone's head falls into the pit from above, as a punishment for barbarians who have broken the law. Then another head falls in. The neighbors from above tell him that they are punishing the barbarians, and among the offenders, they are looking for a fat man from the 24th level who ate the food of the dead. Peruan lies that they were on the 46th floor earlier, covering for Zattin. They go to bed together, and at night, Zattin recalls the interview before he went to prison, where it turns out that he lied to Peruan about his business failure, which led to his family kicking him out and his parents sending him here for re-education. Feeling guilty, hungry, and hopeless, the man stands on the edge of the pit, asks Peruan to visit his children after he gets out, sets fire to the blanket with a lighter he brought with him, and jumps into the pit. He falls like a meteorite onto a pile of garbage at the very bottom, where a crowd of desperate people is waiting for him. After that, Peruan wakes up on the 51st level. She is told that there are only adherents or newcomers left up to the 71st floor, so the situation looks quite good. Her neighbor is a newcomer with one arm, who has to explain the rules. Soon it turns out that a barbarian who was on the 2nd floor last month and overeat to excess has moved in on the 54th floor. Peruan wants to go downstairs to punish him and avenge Zattin's death, but those on the lower levels advise her to refrain for now, because according to the law, 4 of the 2 floors above must go down first, so as not to interrupt the chain of communication. Then she explains to her neighbor that if they don't follow the rules, people die downstairs. At night, Peruan can't sleep, flicking a lighter left by her former neighbor, who she now imagines. During a food distribution, the one-armed neighbor breaks the bed to arm herself and jumps onto the platform, urging Peruan to take revenge. Another man joins them on the floor below. On the 53rd floor, they pick up 2 more, and the 5 set out to take revenge on the barbarian. The barbarian immediately attacks the first man, neutralizing him, and a minute later he is confronted by only 3 women. The barbarian jumps onto the platform and tries to escape, but they chase him, beat him, and Peruan jumps in after him. The 50th level convict strangles the barbarian, but he manages to disarm him. Peruan stuns the barbarian with his club, but stops when he begs for mercy. The woman hesitates, allowing the barbarian to escape onto the platform as it descends below. The one-armed woman wants to chase him, but her partner holds her back. Peruan realizes that his neighbor is not new to this prison. They stay on the 50th floor with another man. The one-armed woman says that she has been here for 6 months and has always upheld the law, helping to calm down those who disagree with the rules. Once, she and a friend came across an emaciated offender who was given a portion of the dead man's food, and Dogging Baby, the strictest enforcer, came after them. He tied one of them to the platform and sent her down to be eaten by the hungry, and the other woman lost her arm. The one-armed woman says that even if she follows the rules of the administration and the law, she cannot get out of here. The only way is to escape during the interval when prisoners are switched and gassed. You just need to find a way to stay awake. In the afternoon, the blind Dogging Baby comes down to the platform with his retinue and a tied-up barbarian. As a reward for his act, he allows the women to eat more food than they are supposed to, but immediately afterwards they are punished for breaking the law, as is everyone who came down with them. After all, it is forbidden to interpret the law. It is only necessary to fulfill it. This is the 2nd offense for the one-armed woman. Unexpectedly, the women's neighbor tells them that he has heard about their escape plan. Although the young man got the details wrong, he takes his words seriously. The next day, Peruan's arm is cut off, and her companion is tied up and thrown down to the hungry people. After the punishers leave, Peruan dreams of children playing on a slide, creating chaos because there is no line. The woman wakes up on the 71st floor with a new neighbor. Already familiar from the first part of the film, Trimagasi, she advises him not to communicate with either the upper or lower floors of the platform, and asks him what object he took with him. The old man turns out to have a kitchen knife, which he gives her at her polite request. When the platform descends, the old man begins to eat, ignoring the law. Peruan stands on the platform with a knife and advises him to come down with her. The old man waiting for her at the bottom, ready to fight, but she convinces him to join forces to counter the followers. They descend further and further, recruiting new allies and quarreling with those who are faithful to the written law. When the platform runs out of space, Peruan orders the defense to counteract her enemies. She notices a barbarian whom she had recently wanted to punish, but later regretted. In the morning, a bloody battle begins. At this time, the barbarian tries to take revenge on Peruan, but she eliminates him with a knife. When the platform descends, there are few survivors, including the wounded Dogging Baby. After the fight, Peruan prepares an escape plan. She swallows a piece of the painting to poison herself and lose consciousness, hoping to be mistaken for dead and thrown out during the interval. In her unconsciousness, she sees children playing a game on a slide. The winner is being taken away somewhere by a couple of adults. When she wakes up, Peruan sees the cleaners tying her to a pile of dead bodies, transporting her in zero gravity. When they reach level 333, she quietly escapes the ropes and hides under the bed. She notices the staff tying a little boy to the bed, the same winner among the children at the top of the slide. Children are regularly replaced on this level, and only a few inmates manage to find their redemption by rescuing them. Peruan decides to pull the boy out from under the blanket and save him. Losing consciousness, she sees someone lying on a table, and the prisoners who died before her eyes offer her a knife so that she can eat. She wakes up on an empty platform that descends below level 333 into pitch blackness. At the top, the light grows fainter and fainter, and she slowly approaches numerous dead characters who politely suggest that she go with them and not prevent the baby from rising to the surface with the platform. The girl decides to let the child ascend, believing that his purity and innocence are necessary for the betterment of the world. This selfless act allows Peruan to free herself from guilt and get rid of her personal hell. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klonsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.